Y'all, God just revealed something to me in the Bible that I have never seen before, and now I can't unsee it. Just listen to this, you'll see exactly what I'm saying. In Matthew chapter 14, we read about Jesus walking on water. But what if I told you Jesus walking on water is actually the shallow part of this story? Let me take you a little deeper to show you what's really going on. So in verse 28, Jesus is already on the water, and Peter calls out to him, "Lord, if it's you, tell me to come to you on the water." So Jesus says, "Come," and Peter went. Now this is where it gets interesting. Verse 30 says, "But when Peter saw the wind, he was afraid and began to sink." Now don't miss this. The wind didn't sink Peter. Fear did. The text says Peter saw the wind, but you and me both know wind isn't actually visible. So perhaps the text is trying to articulate that Peter saw what the wind was doing to everything around him and made assumptions about what the wind would do to him. So it wasn't that he lost vision, because he could clearly see everything that was happening around him. It was that he lost focus on the one that stood before him. Notice how when Peter was in the boat, he wasn't afraid of the wind. It wasn't until he got out of his comfort zone that his fear began to heighten. Now all of that is great, but this isn't just a story about Peter. This is also a story about you being afraid to step into what God has called you to do. Another thing God is pointing out is that Peter wasn't the only one in the boat. The other disciples were in the boat with him. Peter was just the only one willing to answer the call. God uses this story to tell us several things, but here's two of them. Are you willing to take the step when the people closest to you don't support you? And can you stay focused on who's in front of you when it seems like everything is falling apart around you? I don't know who I'm talking to when I say this, but God will not allow you to walk into the unseen unless you're willing to step out into the unknown.